Hey there, this is Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions and C1. I've been giving the love to C1 a lot lately. It's where it all started. So today, with Driver Solutions, I wanted to talk a little bit about 2 reasons why you should not quit the industry altogether. A lot of us, we know we can move from company to company if we want, but staying in the industry is super important. Turnover in the actual company itself is a totally different issue. Staying in the industry is what we're going to talk about today. Well, the biggest thing I think when you first start out is money. I think money and home time are 2 of the biggest reasons when you first get into this business why you might leave the business and the industry altogether. I'll say this, that I think the trucking industry has made huge leaps and bounds the last year and a half, slowly mind you, about getting better pay for the drivers that are new to the business. I talked about on my last video about the pay raise that Pam had given everyone, which is huge because those are the kind of things that really entice you to stay in the industry. Now, please remember, any good company is not going to throw the big bucks at you in your first year because they're not sure if you're going to be there for the long haul. That's good business, right? But the pay increases that they've been doing is pretty big, and it's kind of exciting to see that the industry is getting it, and they want to. I personally would love to see them keep these new drivers in here that we all like to, be in here in the business and really deserve to be in here, and the good quality people that don't leave the industry altogether. That's big. So let's give it up to the trucking industry that's starting to get it. So like I said, slowly. We can always use more money, can't we? All of us can use more money. So let's hope that stays on a trend where it just keeps going up, because I think that's a big factor in keeping drivers all together, right? Even with people with tenure, but especially in the first year. All right, number two is a little bit more subtle, but I think it's just as important. I think people forget this, especially after your first year, but do you remember the excitement that you had when you first got in? I do. 5.5 years ago, I absolutely remember the excitement I had to get into this business. Wanted it to be an adventure. And a lot of you do too, because I get the messages from you. You're super pumped. You're going to do it. You see my videos, see me in Canada and coming down into a mine in Vermont, and then coming down to Texas, now San Fran, and this load. Those are things that come with time. But the excitement, you have to keep the excitement and remember the excitement that got you into the business. In the first year of trucking, this industry can chew you up and spit you out, right? I mean, after the first year, it could be 6 months. You could be sitting going, what in the world did I get into this for? Why? Why did I do this? You're struggling. It wasn't what you thought it would be. And maybe when I'm talking to you, say, well, I want to do what Trucker Wayne does. It all takes time. So after your first year, and especially after your second, things really come together. Better pay, and you can get back. If you always try to remember the excitement you had when you got into this business, and remind yourself after 3 months, 6 months, and then a year, recapture that excitement, I think you'll do all right. I think a lot of times though that you get into it and you're pretty excited and you're gung-ho, and as I mentioned earlier, the first year is just, it seems like it's set up for sometimes it's not set up for failure. It's not at all. I think enough people survive, but it's certainly not set up where you can just go in there and just go gangbusters. A lot of the top performers do. They get it and they learn how to run pretty quick. But when you remember, when things are going bad, if you remember the excitement that you had to get into this business, it's huge. It is huge, and I think it'll help you in the end to know that there's an end game, whether it be after you get your first year and you move on, or your second and third year, where a lot of these companies want you to have 2-3 years experience, and they're willing to give you way more money. And that's where the excitement comes in. Now, it takes time, doesn't it? I mean, you're talking 2-3 years and you finally realized your dream, but anything that's a good dream and something that you've worked hard for, it takes time. It always does. This is Trucker Wayne with Driver Solutions. If you're thinking about getting into the trucking business, check them out at www.greatcdltraining.com. Fill out their online application. We're the positive path to trucking success. And this is Trucker Wayne, and I am out.